Hello, nice of you to join us on Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Today we'll be focusing on the north central region of Nigeria. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the top stories making the rounds at the moment. More visits are continuing to pour in at the Dangote refinery here in Lagos, as the most recent is from the Prime Minister of Grenada, Dixon Mitchell. The Prime Minister was received and led on a tour of the refinery by the chairman and CEO of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, and other top-ranking staff. Troops of 6th Brigade Nigerian Army Sector 3 Operation Wellstroke OPWS have arrested 3 suspected bandits and a logistics supplier linked to terrorists within and outside Taraba State. This follows a credible intelligence report where a special operation was launched on 7 October 2024 in Andaman General Area of Karim Lamido Local Government Area, leading to the successful apprehension of some suspected bandits at Jebjeb, a border community between Taraba and Plateau States. This is contained in a press statement issued by Captain Olubodunde Oni, Acting Assistant Director, 6th Brigade Army Public Relations. The bandits, identified as Adamu Abubakar, Mohammed Bello, and Musa Adamu, are believed to be responsible for a series of criminal activities, including armed robberies, kidnappings, and violent assaults on communities in the area. These arrests come as part of a broader effort of 6th Brigade to curb the rising wave of interstate criminality within its area of operations. Preliminary investigation revealed that the suspects have been active in the state for several years, and investigation is in progress to apprehend other members of the criminal syndicate. Additionally, a key terrorist logistics supplier working with a notorious terrorist group in Taraba State was arrested in a separate operation in Bonka village of Lao local government area. The suspect, Musa Inusa, is believed to be providing essential supplies and other materials to terrorists operating in the area. His arrest is expected to disrupt the supply chain and further weaken the operational capabilities of the group. Items recovered from him include a jackknife, sum of 2,000 naira, 460 naira, wraps of substance suspected to be Indian hemp, and other illicit drugs. Investigation is still ongoing to determine the extent of his involvement with criminals and terrorists in the state. 6th Brigade Nigerian Army assures the public that the fight against banditry and terrorism will continue with full vigor. Citizens are encouraged to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities. Bajibo community in Mokwa local government area of Niger State, north central Nigeria, is reeling from the loss of lives after the 300-passenger boat mishap on October 1st, which claimed several lives. Channels Television visited the grieving community, sharing heart-wrenching stories of loss and survival. Speaking with Isa Medusa, a 56-year-old who lost his wife in the tragedy, Medusa shared a shattering last conversation with his wife and the miraculous survival of their 6-year-old daughter, Naima.
Bajibo is a quiet community in the southern part of Niger State, north central Nigeria. While October 1st is Nigeria's Independence Day, this year it was marked by tragedy in Bajibo after a wooden boat overloaded with passengers capsized. The crash claimed many lives. Aliyu Abubakar, who helped in the rescue efforts alongside government officials, described how they're able to save over 150 passengers who were on the verge of drowning.
I'm also a host for the people coming for the Malu celebration, and I got a call from a woman and I quickly joined the rescue, and we joined others who confirmed everyone who was likely to be rescued was evacuated. I don't have any specific number of people who joined the boat, but the Malud could not hold again. It's a big loss to us all as a community because we are all brothers. My wife's sister was organizing a naming ceremony for her newborn, and she told me she was going there and will return the next day, but changed her mind because of the availability of another boat, which was coming to our village for Malud celebration. Shortly after I heard a boat capsized. I made inquiry. I was told it was the boat conveying people coming for the Malud, and I became worried. And the next day, my wife was recovered dead from the river, and I was devastated and couldn't hold myself.
The community, known for crafting and refitting wooden boats, has been struggling with safety. The ill-fated boat involved in the recent accident not only needed repairs, but was also overloaded. In a show of support, Bola Oyebamiji, Managing Director, National Inland Waterways Authority, visited Badjibo. He donated 300 life jackets and urged boat operators to ensure all passengers wear them. He also promised to gradually replace wooden boats with safer fiber boats.
We appeal, we campaign. We have been doing this through the local radios, through the televisions, and we'll continue to do this. We'll continue to go from one village to the other to let them know that traveling at night is a dangerous scheme for them. And at the same time, we will make sure that we provide fiber boats for them so that these fiber boats will eradicate gradually.
As Badjibo begins its healing process, NIWA's commitment to improving waterway safety gives the community hope. However, preventing future tragedies will only be possible if NIWA fulfills its promises.
The recent increase in the price of premium motor spirits, PMS, has sparked anger and frustration among motorists and residents across the country. In the state capital, many filling stations will remain closed, while the few that are open are characterized by long queues as people struggle to purchase fuel. Reports indicate that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has set the price at 1,025 naira per litre, while other stations are selling between 1,100 and 1,250 naira per litre. Many residents accuse the government of being insensitive to the hardships faced by the average Nigerian. The sharp rise in fuel prices has placed a significant burden on households, businesses, and transport operators, further exacerbating the already challenging economic conditions. Some have raised concerns about the lack of any noticeable efforts to cushion the impact of the price hike. As the fuel scarcity continues to bite, experts and public affairs commentators are calling on the government to take urgent action to address the situation. The human rights advocate and public affairs commentator, Mr. Ukan Krug, joins us from Makurdi, the Benue State capital, to discuss the impact of the new pump price of premium motor spirit on citizens. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Now, the recent hike in the price of premium motor spirits has sparked widespread frustration. As a human rights advocate, do you believe the price increase shows government's insensitivity to the plight of the average Nigerian?
Truly, government is the insensitivity towards humanity right now is too much. I mean, I just trying to hold myself not to say something that will spark outrage there because of kind of words I would love to use. But if you apply the roads of Makurdi right now, even to Abuja, you see that the roads are totally empty. People are finding it difficult to eat. People are even finding it difficult to pay school fees for their kids. And then you increase the fuel to such an amount. We don't even know what government is doing. Nobody is talking to us. Nobody cares about the masses. Information is not thrown out there on the public space for we to know why these things, why the fuel price is being increased, so that we'll know how to adjust our life. We just wake up one morning and the circular is sent in less than 30 minutes, fuel has increased. Everybody's adjusting their pump. Okay, for example, I drive a Corolla. Under the last administration, when fuel was 200 naira, I was filling my tank up with just 10,000 naira. Now, with the increments in the price of fuel to 100, let's say other filling stations are selling for 1,020 naira per liter. I'm supposed to fill my tank, which is 50 liters, for over 60,000 naira. I mean, the suffering is off the hook. The people, let me speak for my people now. The people in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, the people in Benue State are suffering. The stress, the The increment in the petrol in PMS is off the hook, and we are going through hell at the moment. Food prices have increased to almost 200%. A tuber of yam now is going for as high as 2,000 and it's very small. Migration from the villages to town has made things so high. Trafficking is very high on the increase because everybody's running from the villages to the towns, and people are coming from other states to pick our kids here, all with that promise of giving them better education outside of Benue State. The increment in fuel has made the cost of living so high. Everything is just not okay. The government needs to take us serious. The government does not care about anybody or not even humanity at all.
Now, how do you access, you've just spoken about the government, how do you assess the government's communication and response to this current situation we're in right now?
Let me say something. Before now, I have always made a post on my Facebook and Twitter account that I do not even know what National Orientation Agency stands for. For me, it should be scrapped. They are the ones who are supposed to be giving us information. What is the Federal Ministry of Information even doing? If you go to the Twitter, government Twitter account, sometimes you don't even see anything tangible there. But when they are supposed to take a major decision, you see it drop there in less than 30 minutes or 1 hour. So the government is not talking to us. You have the radio. You have recently, we know that the social media have taken over. How have they been able to reach us? We have influencers. We have bloggers. We have people you can give this information. You can want to take a decision and give us 1 week to deliberate, or give us 1 week to see to it, or sample people's voices. Will this be okay for us if government does X, Y, and Z? No. But you just wake up and you hit it up to us just because they know that Nigerians have very good shock absorbers. We can absorb anything and continue with life again. That's just how we've been treated. And it's not nice.
Now, a lot of people are coming in line with you. They share your thoughts. In your view, should the government have introduced any mitigating measures before implementing such a significant increase? And what do you think those measures should have been?
You see, there are a lot of things that the government really needed to do before even the increment of this fuel price, or even removing subsidy. If I thought there was subsidy before, that's how they made us to believe. What has happened to setting up some of these sectors that are working perfect? If we set up the health sector, the primary health sectors in the village, you will not see people rushing from the village to bypass like 2 states, 3 states, or even other local government to bring simple cases like malaria to the state capital. What has the government done about that? Nothing. Transportation, roads, there are a lot of things that are lacking. If government put this in place, these leaders that are governing us today, most of them are a product of primary health education and all of that. Check it out. Some of them almost went to free schools, but today nobody wants to go to a government school any longer. Everybody wants to go to a private school, and because of that, private school owners have hiked the price of schooling in this country to another thing. So, but you see, if government have put some of these things in place, insecurity is so much on the high. If you curb insecurity in the villages, if we put our health sector together, our education sector together, if we even increase this fuel pump price today now, nobody will care. People will care just a bit less because everything is working for us. But a situation whereby nothing is working, and then you hit this thing to us, how do you expect us to feel?
Well, thank you very, very much, Mr. Ukan Kurug, a human rights advocate and public affairs commentator, for coming on the program and sharing your views on the current price hike in PMS. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Welcome back. The Benue State government has warned officials of the Benue State Emergency Management Agencies against diversion of food items donated to supplement feeding of internally displaced persons, following complaints of unfair treatment by some of the IDPs. The state coordinator, Agroclimatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscape Mr. Victor Ama gave the warning during the food distribution directives from Governor Hyacinth Alia to meet the food needs of IDPs at Daudu, 2 and Ortese camps.
Internally displaced persons at Dauda 2 IDP camp show signs of relief with the arrival of food supplies from the Benue State government. Officials from the state's Agroclimatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes Project, ACRISAL, led by Chief Engineer Iowa Michael, deliver the food items on behalf of the state coordinator, Mr. Victor Ama. The supplies include bags of rice, gari, and salt. This comes at a time when the cost of a bag of rice has risen to 100,000 naira, and a bag of gari is selling for 60,000 naira.
400 bags of 25 kg rice. We have brought 100 bags of gari and then 50 bags of salt.
However, one of the IDPs expresses concern over unfair management in the distribution of the food items by camp officials, suggesting that donors should handle the distribution directly within the camp.
When they give us this food, they go share inside, give youth, give block leaders, they go give commandant, they go share inside. At the end, they go give us like 10 bags for one block.
From Dauda 2 IDP camp, the ACRISAL team proceeds to Ortese camp, where over 13,500 IDPs have been sheltered since 2020. The residents at Ortese IDP camp, who welcomed the team warmly, appeal for support in cultivating their surrounding land to help supplement food items.
We have a lot of land here, and we are mostly farmers. So appreciate if by next year planting season, you come to farm for us.
In response, the ACRISAL team promises more support and warns staff of the State Emergency Management Agency against mishandling or mistreating the IDPs.
These livelihood support food items are meant to supplement their feeding. And so they should not in any way sell these food items.
Earlier this year, the ACRISAL State Coordinator, Mr. Victor Ama, installed solar streetlights at Ortese IDP camp to enhance security and protect the over 13,500 residents from night attacks by suspected herdsmen.
Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State has officially approved the minimum wage of 72,500 naira for Kogi civil servants effective immediately. In addition, the governor has suspended the tax burden on the approved sum for 1 year. Governor Ododo announced this during the unveiling of the new minimum wage following the signing of the agreement.
FCA. Officials of the Kogi state government, as well as members of the organized labor in the state, gather at the government house for a major step towards the implementation of the new minimum wage in the state. The state government has set up a minimum wage committee to look into the implementation of the new minimum wage for workers in the state. The recommendations of the committee is the crux of this meeting.
Our mandate was clear to recommend a new implementable and acceptable minimum wage for our beloved state workers. For this endeavor transcend mere numbers. It speaks to the dignity of labor, the resilience of our workforce, and the promise of a fairer society.
We have better all the better, even before the committee. And we are seeing that what we have at hand was exactly what government has. So this government is actually open. I will tell you that to bring the government in the state.
The leadership of the two labor centers signed the agreement before the governor gives his final approval. Governor Ododo then officially announces the new minimum wage for Kogi State workers, which takes effect immediately.
We have jointly and together graciously approved the total sum of 72,500 naira as the new minimum wage for Kogi workers.
The governor adds an incentive.
It remains one step. Effective date immediately. And its consequential adjustment will be implemented for all grade levels.
Governor Ododo is promising prompt payment of salaries in the state as he urges the civil servants to continue to support his administration.
The All Progressive Congress in Nasarawa State has adopted a consensus format for the choice of its candidates ahead of the November 2nd forthcoming local government elections. This was agreed upon at an extended meeting of the party stakeholders convened by Governor Abdullahi Sule in Lafia, the state capital. Our correspondent, Halima Gayam, has the report.
The All Progressive Congress APC stakeholders in Nasarawa State held an expanded meeting led by Governor Abdullahi Sule. The purpose of the gathering was to discuss strategies for the upcoming local government elections. During the interactive session, party leaders and stakeholders had the chance to share their opinions on the best way forward.
Our task in this meeting is to work out the dynamic and modalities for electing our flag bearers for the chairmanship seats and spell out and councillorship seats and spell out our party constitution, which provide for either adoption of a consensus candidate, direct or indirect primary of the flag bearers.
After deliberations, they agreed to adopt the consensus method for selecting candidates.
There are different procedures through which persons may be nominated to be ticket bearers of the party, and one of those is by consensus.
I absolutely agree with the party to use a model of consensus. This is in conformity with the party constitution.
Former APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu urged members to respect the party's unanimous decision, emphasizing party supremacy. Additionally, it was resolved that aspirants must purchase nomination forms with a 50% discount for women and persons living with disabilities.
This is the party's stakeholder. Once we say yes here, our yes must be our honor.
It's very important that we recognize that sometimes the win is not in getting the seats, but in supporting the process. And I'm very confident that since we've all agreed to adopt this consensus, at the end of the process, we'll all emerge stronger.
Governor Sule encouraged chairmanship aspirants to focus on internal democracy, stressing the importance of prudence, experience, and competence.
Today, local governments sometimes receive over 5 billion naira. So you need people who will help to manage those resources. And you need people with the foresight to know what to do with the resources.
Governor Abdullahi Sule assured the stakeholders that the APC remains committed to ensuring progress in Nasarawa State as the party continues to prioritize the welfare of the people through effective governance and sustainable development projects across all sectors. Halima Agayam, Channels Television News.
And that's it on this edition of Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwo. Stay safe.